Come on, come on, come on. How you want it, cognac or Patron? Brunch with the boys, we gon' give you what you want. And what you don't know, we about to put you on. Come on, come on, come on. How you want it, cognac or Patron? Brunch with the boys, we gon' give you what you want. And what you don't know, we about to put you on. Yes, we are the trending topic. We relationship prophets. Brunch with the boys, we the hottest. Brunch with the boys, we the hottest.
What's going on? It's your boy King Des here. Another episode of Brunch with the Boys. I'm feeling wonderful this Saturday evening, gentlemen. How we doing?
Jeezy, I'm feeling good. Y'all have no idea.
Hey, it's Mr. Gent out here.
Quick shout out to Insomnia Cookies. I love y'all.
Pay us some money and we'll keep showing y'all. Otherwise, that's the last one y'all gonna get.
Okay, my bad, but
Yeah.
no, not my bad. They're awesome. Go ahead.
If you like your cookies 10 minutes under baked. For all my crunchy cookie lovers out there, I'm gonna be honest with you. Insomnia's cookies
You
not
got
for
a good suggestion for them?
Huh?
You got a good
Make
suggestion?
them yourself at home.
God.
Bake them as long as you want, and then you know they crunchy. This motherfucker hyped the cookies up. I went there and I picked the cookie up, and the bitch bent in my hand before I could get it to my mouth.
Listen.
I don't like those cookies. I don't like those cookies.
You know a lot of people do, but we gonna move
Yeah,
on.
let's keep it. We got a special guest tonight.
Yes, we
Very
do.
special.
I'm super excited
Dun, dun,
about
dun,
it.
dun, 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 dun.
I like that, man. Next time we're going to get real sound effect. But we have Samantha38G.
38G.
That's how she go down.
Damn.
Damn, girl.
So she is a legend in the game
Indeed.
of porn. I'm telling you, if you ain't pass her in your normal scrolls through any one of the various hubs, man,
I'm not sure many men don't know who she is.
I mean, I don't know how you don't. I don't know how you miss her. How do you
and
miss
if
her?
they don't know her by name, they know them titties.
For sure, for sure.
It's funny. You're funny.
I mean, let's just keep it real.
So what we getting tonight?
Food porn. No
porn.
other topic would be appropriate.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think we agree.
That's
So
the title we're gonna go with.
Honestly, I'm excited about this only because I love porn and I kind of want to understand what goes on behind it. So let's get into it. My first question to you, Samantha.
First of all, can I say
Go
something
ahead,
real quick?
please.
I just want to thank Samantha for being with us this evening. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. This is an honor.
We appreciate you so much.
Hey, Samantha, before we also dig in, what's been popping? What are you excited about right now related to what you got going on?
I find that all the platforms stepping up their game and improving their sites in order to siphon off as many content creators from OnlyFans exciting because now we're in the control. We're in the power. The performers are.
Yeah.
Right. It's
It
no longer
wasn't like
monopoly.
that for years. So now we have the power, and now they're chasing us, and they want
That's
us.
awesome. That's
That's
awesome.
They want
it's good to be
billions.
in that position, to be the
It's
chased one.
wonderful.
It is.
It's wonderful.
is.
I said it would happen, but nobody believed me 5 years ago. But I was right.
You called a bubble, huh?
I did.
That's what's up. That's what's up. We got a fortune teller and an actress of all types. Let's get into
Well,
it.
I love it.
You have to be able to predict the future in any industry. And with technology, everything's changing so fast.
Yeah, no
You have to
doubt.
Think ahead, undoubtedly.
No
There's
doubt.
a book called The World is Flat by Thomas Friedman I read over 20 years ago. And it talked about how the internet would change the world and how so many of us would have internet-based jobs. And
Yeah.
it caused me to get into porn, and it's come true. So you always have to be on the lookout for the next new thing.
Listen,
So that's what I'm excited about.
I'll say this. There's some, and to add truth to what Samantha's saying, there's some 15 or 16-year-old kid right now who nobody's paying attention to, right? They're like, look at this geek, look at this nerd. And he's developing the next thing.
Undoubtedly.
You know what I mean? And so technology is where it's at. So, if you ain't with it, get with it.
You have
Sure.
no choice.
Good
I
stuff.
find it exciting. And you always have to be learning something. So you always have to challenge yourself with that. I mean, video editing, audio, ASMR. There's so many different things.
ASMR.
to learn
Mhm.
I love that.
that
I
it's
love that.
fascinating.
That's
Wow.
good stuff. Well, let's find out some more about Samantha and kind of her career and the things that have kind of moved her in certain directions.
I think the most obvious question is, what made you decide to get into the industry?
That book.
Yeah, she just said it. Yeah.
Wow.
The book, The World is Flat, because it was just like, how can I get into this industry I mean, to the internet and, stake my claim and make money. Now, you have to understand, when I started in 2000, nobody looked like me. Nobody was over the age of 24. I was 30. Nobody was a BBW or chubby.
Mm-hmm.
And it was internet companies in Miami that shot me.
Yeah.
I didn't shoot in LA for until 15 years into my career or something like
Really?
that. Yeah. So I was a Miami girl, and it exploded. I went viral. My first shoots went viral.
Mm-hmm.
My first shoots were magazine covers. My first shoot was Big Naturals.
I remember that.
Oh,
yeah.
I remember Big Natural.
Yeah.
Shit.
I
Oh,
still
y'all are
frequent the page
I
from
do.
time to time.
I do. That brought a smile to my
It
face.
did too, man.
It was a
It's
warm
nostalgic,
memory. Yeah,
man.
it
It
was
was
a warm
very
memory.
nostalgic.
It was.
So
So
what
nobody looked
characteristic
like me.
what
Huh?
characteristics would you feel a woman or a man would need to work in the industry? Do you think
To be
anyone can do it?
entertaining. Anybody can, but you have to be entertaining.
Yeah.
You have to be self-motivated,
Definitely.
and you have to be original. Like, you have to think outside the box, one, to problem solve, to be creative, and just go for it.
Samantha,
Like, you have to be brave and just go for it.
let me ask you a question. You said self-motivated. Do you have to be self-motivated once you are an established performer or entertainer?
Yes.
What I mean by that is, after your first 4 or 5 movies, right, or shoots, and you blow up, aren't you constantly getting calls, right? Aren't people constantly being proactive with you, or not necessarily?
No, well, with my niche, no, because nobody really shot BBWs, and so I was the first. Now a lot of BBWs like to say, well, no mainstream companies shoot BBWs, and I'm like, well, that's all I worked for the first 15 years. So
Right.
okay,
Right.
but sales are sales. As long as you sell, they don't give a fuck.
That's a
Yeah.
fact.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
Rule
That's a
number
fact.
one in every business is sales. Without sales, you don't have a business.
Yeah,
That's true.
100%.
And there's also a plateau you hit. There's only so many companies you can shoot for if you're a new girl, and then it plateaus and there's nobody calling.
Really?
So when I say innovative, if you want to, and now we have more choices than ever with all these different platforms
Mm-hmm.
that didn't exist 10 years ago, that you had to go out there and you have to grind. And it's just, I find it fascinating and wonderful and incredible, and just like, yeah.
Look like you getting off on that right there.
Right,
girl.
yeah.
I love it.
I'm seeing a lot of things shake.
Yeah.
There's so many opportunities that didn't exist when I started 20 something years ago.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's true for the workplace in general, right?
Mhm.
There's so many things
Right.
that
And so
aren't.
the money isn't shooting for those companies. The money is doing your own thing. Like, I don't make nearly as much money as a lot of the other girls do, but there are girls pulling in $1 million a month
What?
For real?
on OnlyFans. Yeah.
Shit.
Wow.
OnlyFans has created 300 performers who pull in $1 million a year.
Wow.
That's insane, bro.
You know
Now,
why
I
that
cannot
makes
name
perfect
but
sense
maybe
to me?
1 or 2 performers who just shoot porn that can make that kind of money. And it's a guy.
It's crazy.
That would be Manuel. But I don't know how much money he makes, so don't quote me.
Who is
but
that? Who is that?
Manuel,
Okay.
Manuel Ferrara.
Okay.
Hoes love him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all you got to do is, from my understanding, and this was when we had Romy on, you're basically showing your life. So if you sleep with a bunch of women, it's almost like watching porn more realistically. So I can see how a man could benefit from that. It's no different than working in porn.
I mean, it depends on the performer and his niche base. Some gay guys like to trace the straight guys. Some gay guys like other gay guys. I mean, there's all kinds of different
Genres.
Combinations.
Yeah.
It's like Subway. You can get your turkey sandwich with cheese or with Swiss. I mean, with Swiss or with American. Yeah.
I mean, that's the beauty of it, is that there's all kinds of rooms for all people, as long as you're of legal age.
Of course, and that's not stopping anyone either. Just so we're clear, no one's waiting
Well,
until
just
18.
so
You
we're
can
clear,
Google
I have
porn
no
so
clue
easily.
about that.
I was watching Real Sex at 9.
Oh yeah. I mean, maybe
And
that's a
if you
tad
would've had
early.
The internet,
And Dream On. Y'all don't know that show, Dream On.
yeah, I
you?
do.
Okay.
But if
I
you
don't
would have
remember
had
that
the
one.
internet, then you would have started earlier. The internet.
I mean, how much earlier than 9, dog? 7?
Yeah.
No,
Come
I'm not
on.
saying
I don't wanna
earlier.
get
I'm
I
not saying
believe in
that.
all porn being behind a paywall and no minor seeing it.
Yeah.
That That's my
Kids ain't ready
preference.
for that.
Not at all.
But
Not at
you
all.
And
did
it's
mention earlier
going
about
that
being
way.
you mentioned earlier about being entertaining to get into the industry.
Hmm.
I want to ask you guys, can't you tell the difference when a woman is being entertaining versus when she's enjoying having good sex? And does that not matter to you with your porn?
Like, I can definitely tell primarily from the noise making. For some reason, I can tell whether it's a genuine.
It's a typical man answer, by the way.
I know. I'm just. I know.
Because you want to lie to yourself, right?
Yeah.
You want it to be
I mean,
real.
you got
can
to
tell by
me.
the sound.
Yeah.
To, I
Not
mean,
if you're a good actress.
I
You
mean,
can't
that's
tell.
that's why I'm. But here's the thing. That's going to be the differentiator than someone who isn't. I'm just telling you what men get off on is optics, audio. You know what I'm saying? Those
Listen,
things.
the camera
I get off
reads
on ass.
the camera reads everything, whether you want it to or not. The camera
Yeah.
reads everything.
Yeah.
And
So
so,
if
if
you
the
don't like it.
people performing are into it, it's easier for you to be into it.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
It's just emoting. Emoting really matters.
What about you, Des?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I can tell. I can't tell any more than, especially I think I can tell more with a woman I'm actually having sex with. But on the
Obviously,
TV,
because
nah.
your dick's in her.
Yeah. But on the
Or better
TV,
yet, do you care?
say what?
Or do you care? As long as you get your nut, do you
No,
really care?
Nah,
No,
we
if I'm-
care.
if
We're
I'm-
grown now, girl.
If I'm having a sexual relationship with somebody, yeah, I
Maybe
care.
she's talking about
Well, of course,
porn
if you're in
and
a personal
masturbating.
relationship
Okay,
with
yeah.
them, but I mean for your viewing pleasure.
Oh, viewing. Oh, yeah. When it comes to porn, you don't really care. What I will say is an annoying moan
Oh yeah.
will make me change
Shit.
scenes.
Or an ugly like sex face. I've seen some bad sex fakes
I don't
that
know if
look.
that would make me.
Oh my god, that they look like they got Bell's palsy and shit. You know what I'm saying? It
Don't do
just
that.
That's so ugly.
it just looked like half the
That's
face is
unnecessary.
just shut
Living
down,
with
dog. I don't know. I'm just telling you how I
I
feel
don't
about
watch
it.
Yeah,
enough porn to know that.
Have you ever had scenes that you weren't comfortable shooting? And if so, what options do you have? Because I know you said you were internet based, so I'm not sure you had a producer.
I'm very, very lucky because I've always been bossy.
Mm.
And a lot of the people didn't know what they were doing. We were all kind of starting out with this stuff here in Miami. And so very few people when you start out get to choose your male talent. And I got to pick and choose and I got to say no. And so.
What was the criteria for your male talent?
Good hygiene, good manners.
That's important.
Damn, that seems like low hanging fruit right there.
But
I mean, like seriously,
I
though.
know,
what
but
she's trying to
you'd be
accomplish.
surprised at how some people show up to sets, and I'm like, I used to carry an extra toothbrush in my bag, and I'd be like,
Oh, that's fucked up.
Where are they grabbing these men from? If
That's fucked
you have
up.
to ask a man
and
to
these are
wash his
professional
balls,
guys who've been on lots of shoots,
it's just disrespectful.
Wow.
and they're just like, okay, Sam, and trot off and go brush their teeth.
Does
So
it help you? Do you find that the scenes are more intense when you're attracted to the man?
attraction is everything. I mean, I want to enjoy the sex as much as possible. I don't get health insurance from this, so orgasms are the only benefit.
Now, that's a good answer right there.
That one threw me off right there.
The talent pool, especially when it comes to the guys, is smaller. So a lot of the people I've worked with many times. So we have a rapport and we have
Chemistry.
understandings and mutual attractions. So, I mean, like Levi, I loved working with Levi. I loved working with Tony Rubino. I loved working with Carlos. I loved working with Manuel.
Mm-hmm.
I loved working with Christian. I mean, I loved working with Mr. P. So you build, a basic friendship there.
So
And a
basically,
mutual-
when these scenes come, you're looking forward to sleeping with him or these guys.
Yeah.
So it's basically just like having casual sex, and you're
Pretty much.
recording it.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I fucked a lot of them off camera and
Oh,
on
yeah.
camera.
I was gonna
So,
ask
yeah.
that.
Real
so
talk?
I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna ask that. Do you guys maintain relationships where, hey, I know we did this scene, but I'm gonna come through tomorrow?
It's called practice. Practice?
I
That's how
don't
I would say
consider
it.
it practice, but it's nice to have sex without another person standing there telling you,
Yeah.
stop, no,
Yeah.
reset the lights.
Right.
How awkward is that? Do you think that's something I mean, I think it's
I
easy to say
don't
everyone can't do it.
I don't find it awkward at all. I think it's awkward to have sex in a room with just one person in their room when there's not an assistant going, here's a baby wipe. Oh, let me touch up your makeup.
Right. Right.
That's crazy.
To me, it's awkward for not to have those things.
What would you say was your worst experience in the industry?
I don't do worst experiences. I would have walked off set.
Boom.
That's
Drop
real.
the mic.
And I hope all the women hear that. And I'm not talking to just the women in porn, women in general. You don't have to take shit. It seems like y'all just
Well,
wanna
and
take
in personal
Unless that's the genre of porn that you're in.
everything.
Then you got to take
Take
you
it,
gotta
everything.
in personal relationships is whether or not the guy turns violent. So you have to, whatever you do to survive to get out of the situation is what was necessary.
Yeah.
In porn, I mean, listen, I've been blacklisted at least 8 times.
Why is that?
Oh, because I've turned people down. I refuse to do scenes. I've walked out.
Yeah.
I mean, they blacklist you, and this is me laughing out the door because I know it never is going to affect my career because of.
Ow.
Yes.
Right.
And I always made money and hustled and had other things going on.
Right.
So it just didn't. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. You have the luxury of not caring.
People are out of business, so I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So, have you ever fallen for a co-star?
I've had relationships.
That's pretty vague right there.
That started with
It's really hard for me not to listen. If I'm having sex with them and we're connecting and they're a good kisser, it's hard for me not to fall in love with them and not be love drunk after each scene.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that say a lot, fellas?
That says
there's a lot.
she basically saying love is primarily driven by that feeling of love. Let's not say just love in general.
Why I pointed it out is
by
because
sex.
normally it's something men can do where we can create an intimate moment even in a casual situation. Typically, women aren't capable of it. So if they're not feeling you, it's hard for them to get in. So to hear you say it, you're no different than any other women, essentially, that, hey, even if it is casual, once your dick get inside me, a few strokes in, I'm like, damn, I want this all the time.
Okay, well, here's the thing.
All the time might be a little much.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
You have to suspend reality and be in love in that moment if you want to bring out the best for both of you, because you're only as good as your last scene. And authenticity does sell better than having to fake it through the scene. And listen, I mean, when Shane Diesel, one male porn star came up to Shane Diesel and told him that I was absolutely in love with him. He goes, "Well, we're all in love with Sam. What do you want to do about it?"
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to live in that moment. And trust me, afterwards can be really hard detaching and emotionally coming down. And sometimes I've even cried because for every high there's a low.
Oh, you've cried right after sex. It was that good and
I don't think she's talking about the sex being good, right? You're talking about the fact
No, it's just the
that moment's
attachment you
over.
have during that time.
Right.
I mean, not the sex is that good for that to happen. Don't get me wrong.
oh, so you have cried after some really good sex.
Yeah, but it's just for an emotional high, and then you just like this is work, go home, and stuff like that. But I've had relationships with plenty of them. I mean, if you see me do a scene, 20 different scenes with one guy, pretty much we were probably dating.
Relationship. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good telltale sign. I wonder if that's a good telltale sign if we see it anywhere outside of Sam.
Yeah, it'd be hard to know.
Like, oh, they go together right now. I can tell.
Well, especially with content trades, and if they're on it, doing their OnlyFans and stuff like that, the guy's got 10 or plus scenes with it, probably they have something going on.
Makes sense.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you, I noticed that you do a lot of girl-on-girl scenes as well. Was this something that you wanted to do, or was this something you feel you did to stay relevant in the industry, given the way bisexuality has set?
Well, that's not the way to stay relevant, but it's just easier money and easier work on your body.
I like the easier work on the body.
Dang.
She's thinking about
it's
it.
not as hard on your body to do a girl-on-girl scene, and it's easier on the body to do a girl-boy scene. It's like half the work is done.
Yeah,
Right.
Because you get to lay back. Man, I never thought about that.
So you get to step back and go like, you fuck her now. She's going to do this position. I'm going to do that position. You lay it all out front, and then
Yeah.
you don't have to do this much work.
That's crazy.
For the same amount of money, or if not more. So
Do you enjoy men more? Do you prefer men?
I love men.
Yeah. So
I love men. I'm not
it's
into women. I just love men.
Okay. Dang. So you wouldn't say you're into women really more so than you're open to it.
Nope.
Dang.
My attraction is to men.
I've seen you eat a lot
I'm
of
good
pussy,
at
so now
pussy.
I know it's not real. It hurts.
I'm good at eating pussy, but women don't make me come. Only one woman's ever made me come, and that was Eden 38 Double D.
I'm gonna look her up.
say
Is that
Eve.
on tape though? I just want for reference.
Yeah.
I'm asking for a friend.
No.
Yeah,
I didn't just write her name down. That's not what I wrote down.
So, I prefer men. There's something about men, the way y'all kiss, the way y'all smell, the way
means
you
you're
feel in
heterosexual.
your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love to be gay. It'd make my life so much easier.
I think a lot of women think that. A lot of women think that.
Okay.
Women are too complicated and too hard to make orgasm.
You preach
I
to
don't
the
know how
choir.
you
I don't know about the hard cap.
If I was a guy, I'd be gay.
It is hard to keep y'all happy. That's for sure. So, can you tell us? I'm not sure if the guys know what a fluffer is.
I know what a fluffer.
Are you familiar? You do. Oh, you are. Okay.
It's only in Hollywood movies does that exist.
Okay.
Get
So
your
can
own
you
shit
tell
hard.
us what just so our listeners know what a fluffer is?
A fluffer is another person on set that's not on camera who keeps the guy hard. But honestly, on sets, the guy has to do that himself. Or you help the guy out if you're nice and depending on how hard you have to work that day. Because generally by the time the guy shows up, you've already done 4 to 5 hours of work sometimes on some sets.
Jeez.
So
pictures and things of that nature.
You've taken 1,000 pictures, you've done some solo work, and then by the time he gets there, you've already put in a full day and exhausted, and now you got to help
Pussy's
him.
swollen.
Pussy
If
should
you
be
help
wet.
him,
No,
or swollen.
it's even more than that. Sam, is your pussy not tired by that time? Is it?
Solo work is
doing
masturbation.
pussy work, it's just the
What does
modeling
that have to
in
do with
front.
being swollen?
Yeah, I guess. Take it easy on the pussy.
Well, I'm saying you're doing. You said you're doing some solo
I don't think
work.
it's paid for.
Yeah, but when I talk about solo work, I'm talking about it's just touching your body and
Okay.
and stuff like that. It's not like you're
You're not have to
yourself.
do masturbation scenes. Okay, all right. I just want to make sure. Thanks for the clarification.
You're welcome.
People often say that porn can ruin a marriage. How do you feel about porn as far as marriage? Would you say it contributes to an unhappy marriage, or would you say that porn can be used to help a marriage?
I think that's the lack of honesty between the partners.
Yeah, people.
Like if you're married a woman who's not into porn and you really like watching porn, then there's going to be an issue.
Right.
I agree with her.
But if you're both open about it and both enjoy it, then it can add to your marriage. Because I have a lot of couples who watch me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that has to do between honesty between two people about your sexuality. Which can be
and Sam, not to interject, but I mean, personally, I know in a relationship that I was with someone who looked down on porn in a way, and therefore what it ended up doing was turning it into more of a form of secrecy. So, as soon as she ended up leaving to go to the club with her friends, I'm over here with burning incense. I turned the lights down to a nice dim. I done lit, I done lit 2 candles and shit, and I'm really investing in. But the issue is, like, if she walked through the door, like, I'm fumbling my ass all the way into the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? So it's when you turn it into a form of secrecy, to me, I feel like it's a little bit unhealthy. Don't you think?
I kind of like the feeling of almost getting caught. Sometimes, like I like to do it in places where, not kids to find you, but like my girl, she can accidentally walk in. Like, you know what I'm saying? And if the kids aren't around and I know she up there, I might moan a little just to
just to get her attention.
Yeah. I kind of want her to come down, and I don't even want her to jump in immediately. I want her to say something like, "This what we doing?" You know what I mean? Just like low key judge me and shame me and be like, "Man, you out here slipping and shit. Somebody got to do this shit." And then
Only thing better is if you bust off while she looking at you too.
Hey,
Shit,
Oh
right?
my
come
God!
on.
And look her
Hold
straight
on,
in the
my
eyes.
fantasy was almost there, and then she come with a nigga and she be on some old like, so you need help? Come on, man. You know.
And would you turn her
No,
down?
nigga, I'm taking the help. This was all a setup. This is a long, elaborate scheme.
That's
You know what I'm
funny.
saying?
That's funny.
I think it depends on the relationships, you know. I mean, I don't think it hurts relationships. I think secrets hurt relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, agree.
And there's some women that view their man watching porn as him cheating. They consider
Right.
that
Well, listen,
cheating.
I have
and
girlfriends who
masturbating
are
to
not
it.
in the industry literally go snatch their boyfriends by the hair out of Hooters.
You some
Yeah.
big titties in there though.
At
Tilted
Hooters.
kilt is way better, by the way. But yeah, I get
So
you.
That's because you
mean,
like
we were
ass. I'm a Twin
drag
Peaks
him
person.
out by the hair, going, "I can't
Yeah.
believe you're in there." Da da da
Yeah.
da da. Because of the jealousy issue. So I
Yeah.
mean, but that's who you're dating. So who you marry is who you chose.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sometimes you
really
fuck
blame
up.
it yourself.
Yeah. No, sometimes you fuck up. You know what's
Still who you
crazy
chose,
though?
though.
It is, and you live with these consequences. Still, what it is to me, being open with your sexuality and being judgment free. I don't understand women who view porn as an issue. It's so silly because you're immediately gonna create a wall for your man. Now he's not gonna share certain shit because he feels you're too square or lame about
Well, it's also
his
how they're
sexual
brought up.
limits.
That's how women. But women are always being told, "You got to be a good girl. You got to be a good girl." And good girls don't do this, and good girls don't do that. So
Shit,
that has a lot to do with that. So
It's
that's
usually
how
the
they're
good
raised.
girls
But
that are the
that's who you
worst.
choose.
Yeah, I agree. I think a couple
Well,
things. I
that's
think it's easy for
they have
dudes
a
to
lot of
say.
rebelling.
I think it's easy for dudes to say, but I think if your girl was watching big dick niggas every day, you have a problem with it. The thing is that she tried. Well, the issue is that, you know, typically it's men who are the perpetrators of that, right? So it's easy for us to get defensive and be like, why are you tripping? It's just a video, right? Because typically your wife isn't watching porn all the time, or your girl isn't watching porn all the time. But if every time you walk in the house, she got a vibrator and she's getting herself off to another man, that shit gonna make you feel a certain way after a little bit. It just
to
is.
another man.
Frequency.
Is he fucking her? No, I'm saying, is he in? If are they having
In whatever
sex?
way you watch porn,
Okay.
she's watching porn. But for from a woman's perspective, my point is that even if you say I don't mind if a woman watch porn, if she's watching porn regularly, which most men do, and niggas say I don't feel a certain way about it, then you're a special guy because most men will feel some way about it.
So it is the frequency that is the concern.
Listen,
then
if
for
your
sure.
girl's watching porn once or twice a year and you got a problem with it, shut up.
Yeah, you got to shut the fuck
You
up.
sensitive
Yeah.
ass nigga. But if she's watching it every day, it's like, damn.
I want to know what kind of porn, and I think that matters because sex porn, you know, she
think it
getting
does.
turned on for you. If she watching another nigga just beat off, she on some other shit. In my opinion.
What do you mean she on
Because
some other
she
shit?
just want to look at straight dick. I think a lot of women, and I've dealt with a lot of women here, they enjoy watching sex. They enjoy the penetration because these are angles that they don't often get to see because they are the one getting pounded out. So in this case, they enjoy porn from that perspective. So if a chick is just watching a man jack off, to me, you know, something's with your dick is falling short. And
I think that's a slippery slope. I think it's a slippery slope to start judging which porn is acceptable porn and which porn isn't because it's all relative and subjective, right? If I mean like if you watching porn with two niggas training a girl, your girl can come in and be like, "What the fuck are you watching?" But it's a lot of niggas out here watching that porn though. So be real careful about judging which porn is good porn and which porn isn't because it's all relative, man.
But
You know
to
what I
that
mean?
point,
totally
D, I
agree.
still think that people definitely do that because I think a lot of people do direct comparisons, and if you know all you're watching is big titty porn, and your chick got 2 bee stings,
she mad.
She gonna be mad.
She mad,
You
man.
know, she underdeveloped, and she knows that you look like you ready to be breastfed.
But if you chose, but my thing on that is, I think that's interesting because if you chose her, then you chose her ass in spite of them bee stings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, seriously. So whatever you had or didn't have on your chest, clearly you had enough in other places to make up for that. That don't still mean I like big titties. I can like big titties and love the shit out your ass too.
yeah,
You know what
the
I'm
two
saying?
things aren't
So,
mutually exclusive. Yeah.
If only a woman's emotions would allow her to understand that. Maybe most women would, but there are women who would associate with you liking that type of porn with being dissatisfied with what asset she has.
Hey, real serious.
All right, so do you have a preference between black men, white men, Hispanic men in your scenes and in your personal life?
Jesus.
Neither.
No. Okay.
I don't have any preference because I go on. For me, it's about the chemistry and how we communicate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Well
do
And you
said.
just
appreciate
never
that.
know who you're going to have chemistry with, and that doesn't have a color.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not one of those girls who asked to be paid more to have sex with people of other races.
Mm-hmm.
I find it all ridiculous, to tell you the truth.
Which one trends more, just out of curiosity? So if you're looking at
What do
just
you
straight
mean?
viewership, like
The
how
interracial between black men and white women
It's classic.
supposedly
It's going
sells
down in
more.
history.
I'd never watch a white guy fucking a white girl. That does nothing for me.
Yeah.
you know, I agree with you.
I never have.
I agree with you,
So,
sir.
Really?
Sometimes I just
I
don't want
find
to do
it's
the work.
hard to light. She's really pale. It's really hard to light, though. It's hard for the lighting guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
we don't
never
Because
thinking
he
about
blew
him.
her
Yeah,
out.
we don't care about
Yeah,
that.
But yeah,
He loves his job.
I can't remember a time where I've gone, let me see Jeremy fucking Sarah.
Yeah.
I've never
Mm-hmm.
it's just never done it. Because part of me watching porn is, I mean, realistically, being a heterosexual male, I'm not watching this is an interesting thing, right? And it takes a real man to admit this. I'm not watching the porn for the dude, but it matters. You know what I'm saying? I don't know another way to put it.
Ron White has a whole routine on that. That's
I get it.
hilarious.
I
Who
fucking
does?
get it.
Have you ever heard it? He goes, do you want to see little limp dicks or do you want to see big hard cocks?
Boy, it's hard to answer that question though. You don't. We know the answer.
What I think I want to say to answer that is, I want to see a dick that resembles mine. Okay, so
that's still a slippery slope answer. But I hear what you're saying.
I guess to me, it depends on how you view porn, right? To me,
Right.
when I pick a scene, for the most part, I want to place myself in that
I agree.
scene. I want to put myself
agree.
See,
in that
that's the
position.
narrow vision of porn for it to be hardcore. To me, there's so many different. I mean, there's all these fetishes out there, and
Oh, we can talk about
solo,
those.
and I mean, to me, that's just. But basically, when people talk about porn, they want to talk about hardcore porn. But maybe that's because it is what men generally watch more so
Right.
than
Yeah.
any other.
Nothing soft.
I mean, I don't even understand what softcore porn is. Are you talking about like the Cinemax movies
Yeah, I
where
think
you
that's what
never
you're talking
see
about.
the genitals?
Yeah.
That's bullshit. That's
Yeah.
a waste of your time. But
That's
nothing else is on TV. You got to do what you got to do.
Sounds like desperation.
You got to
I know
remember,
we had to
we
do
from
one of those. When I shot for Penthouse, I had to do a softcore scene
Yeah.
with the French guy, a lovely, sexy French guy.
See, I never seen that.
And you never have sex, right? You never actually penetrate.
No, we had to do a softcore version of it and a hardcore version.
Okay, hardcore got more views.
But on softcore, obviously, on
But they
softcore, you
needed it for
never
the cable
penetrate, right?
broadcast. Huh?
You don't penetrate on softcore, correct?
No, you
Okay.
fake it all.
I was wondering if it was in there and maybe they just ain't showing
That's
it.
the stuff you see on HBO and Cinemax when you're 12. or
They
13.
tape it down, bro.
That's a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
day at 12, 13. That's a win.
Yeah, you get a hard on and go to bed.
Oh my God.
That's not the win. That's not a win.
That is not a win,
It's
dog.
not a win, but if you got the time and the space, and by that I mean the privacy, you gonna handle
Well,
it.
Not
here's,
at 12.
here's the thing about dating porn stars is sometimes they have to save their load for the
Yeah.
next day.
They do.
So we have
I do that
sex, but
sometimes,
they
too.
don't orgasm.
You a
Yeah.
porn star, or they don't, or they don't orgasm. You said,
Right.
They don't orgasm because they have to have volume in their load the next day.
yeah,
We talked about this.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think every man should give himself, and I'm not saying how often you have to do this, but nothing's more enjoyable than waiting 3 to 5 days, maybe 6 or 7, and busting that nut. It's what other blessing
But you
can
have
give
to
her?
you have to edge during that. Otherwise, you're a minute man.
Yeah. Well, see, that's just it, though. And I can't argue with that. Me, when I get in there, I'm going to take my time
I
and let
have
the
more
build
male
up. That's the
porn
best
stars be
nuts.
Minutemen with me than I do having sex with regular people.
Really?
Because I was so removed from all of them for so long. I'm the what they jerked off to get hard on
Mm-hmm.
for their scenes
Yeah.
because they've never fucked me.
Right.
And so when they would get with me, it was like bit, bam, boom, pop, and the
I
director's
can
like,
see.
"What
I
the
can.
fuck?"
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Can
you
I
got to get a first time pass.
Can I ask you guys a
Or
question?
new.
When you were single,
Mm-hmm.
have you ever met a new chick and you didn't hit her yet? You know, it's maybe first date or so.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever watch porn and find a girl that resembles her and beat off to that?
That's
Never.
Okay. That's
No, I'm-
my bad. My bad.
Never.
I mean, that's a little bit.
God,
That's a
when
little
I
weird.
date, I don't even
Yeah.
have sex until like the 6th or 7th date.
My bad. You say what now?
When I date, I don't have sex with the guy until like the 6th or 7th date.
Really?
That just means we dating all week. That's all we doing.
You trying to get 6 dates in a week?
Listen, I'm gonna be here Saturday, so
I
we
refuse
started
to
next
say
Sunday.
to the guy until I know he has my best intentions at heart. So sometimes it's never.
Wow.
Hey, let me just tell you,
That's unfortunate.
and a lot of people would have a misconstrued perception of
What's
what a
that
porn
word?
star.
Conscrewed. It got a W in it. Go ahead.
Construed. A perception of what a porn star may actually interact with from a dating standpoint, and that they would probably be quick to sex, and you over here saying that you're going to wait 6-7 dates.
Because that's not happening for a regular chick.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Even, yeah.
If the first date goes well, it's on. I mean,
Really?
And if it's the third date and it hasn't popped off yet, you like this bitch playing.
I don't feel like that. though.
undoubtedly.
We know you don't, because you probably
Undoubtedly.
made her handmade roses or some
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Regular
undoubtedly.
niggas.
If you take a woman
makes
out
me not
twice,
want
you
to
should get
do
it.
it. It's them expecting it from me makes me want to do it all the more.
But a good one will never let you. Well, he won't let you think that he's expecting
Yeah.
it. Just know he is.
Yeah.
And so if you
Well,
call
I know
this,
they all are. That's the point of dating, is it
Yeah.
not?
come on,
Trying to tell you.
that's what it is.
You gonna get this
So
stuff.
I will torture them.
Yeah. Torture.
I mean, I've had some be really snooty about it. Some rich guy I was dating was being really snooty, and he was like, he, I got us a hotel room.
Yeah, his approach
our
was all
first
wrong.
date.
though.
Yeah, but he's not used to.
And
He
you
don't have no
never know-
game. He just got money.
Right.
Yeah, he has money. That's the
I'm
problem.
sorry, but I have plans with Shane Diesel after this, so this isn't going to work.
Oh, that's fucked up to
That's how we
say.
doing
That's
it?
fucked up to follow up with that,
Yeah,
okay?
I'm not sure I can call
I
you.
know, it's gross.
Shit.
Well, you just got to go
But
first.
really good.
You just got to go first. You can call Shane. What time is 9:30?
You said
You try to get it in at 7?
Let me get 8:45 to 9:15.
We got an hour. We got an hour before you got to go. Okay.
I just want to be first.
So how have you handled being relationships while being in the industry? Have you been in a relationship while?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And how did
I
you
just
handle
ended a
it?
relationship.
Really?
Wow.
I'm 52 years old. Everything is on my
Damn, look at-
terms.
Mm-hmm.
Damn,
No, thank you.
You're welcome. Wow.
And I mean, I don't let guys dictate the terms. It's my terms. Listen, I got plenty of men lined up that want me.
Oh, I
Right.
fucking believe that.
Right.
So if you don't want to up your game and be what I need, I will find somebody else.
Do you often wonder and or fear if these men really want you or if they just want to fuck you and fulfill a fantasy?
Or do they
of
want you or do they want you?
Well,
Right.
that's that
yeah,
6-7 date thing. That's that 6-7 date thing comes into play.
because you'll figure it out. You'll weed those guys out. Some niggas
I
are great at the
reheard that
long game.
really
From the
quick
long
because they
game
get
D?
really frustrated really fast. Generally, by the third date, they're like, "What the fuck? You're a porn star. I should be able to fuck you right now." And I'm like, "Never gonna happen."
Never gonna get it. Never
See,
gonna
and,
get it.
and the best approach would be take your time, keep doing what you already was doing, elsewhere, and then that'll fall
Listen,
in time.
You got to read
Listen,
your audience, man. Know your
how many
audience,
people-
bro.
Listen, I don't care how many other people they're fucking.
Yeah,
Just do right by me.
just wait it out, fellas. Y'all, man,
Hey,
patience
that's-
is a virtue.
He just told you.
That's actually
Patience is a virtue.
pretty mature of you.
For sure,
For
for
sure.
sure.
Yeah.
But so, how did the man handle knowing you work in like your relationship that just ended?
Some
Was he
get
okay
jealous.
with it?
No, he got jealous.
Mm.
But he found some scene from 2015 and was like, "Oh, I know you were cheating on me this entire time, and in your bed." And I'm like,
So he went back that long to get mad at you. That's tough.
well, he thought it was recent, but it
Yeah.
wasn't. But I was in a relationship with that guy Stallion,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it was. I mean,
That
and it
didn't
was. Listen, I don't care. Not my problem. That's
It's
his.
hard not to know. It's hard to know who to empathize with because I totally get your perspective, right? You have to have the I don't care mentality. All things considered is your life. But boy, I kind of empathize with him as a man.
How the fuck you gonna empathize
I
with
don't,
him?
and I agree with you, D.
You
I like
chose her.
players. Listen, he's had plenty of sex. He's had threesomes. He's been to orgies. He's organized gangbangs for people.
Okay, well then. I
Oh
take
yeah,
it back.
yeah.
I didn't know
if
his
you
background.
let me just say, if you organize a gangbang, there is nothing that you can say
I
to
thought
anybody.
he was like an average, regular guy, and I've dated 10 girls in my life type shit. If you,
Nah,
this
I don't want
nigga
those.
here was ready. Yeah, he
I don't
was-
want those. I like players.
Really?
I want guys.
Oh,
gang.
long
I
term,
like
Every
players.
woman wants a player. They, even if she doesn't want him
I'm
to
a
be. Hey, you heard it, fellas.
Game recognizes game.
Play with me.
Come on now. Yeah.
You know. I
What's
don't
your,
want some guy.
what's your longest relationship, Sam? What's your longest relationship?
I'm really not one for relationships. I'm kind of like Mae West.
He
Why
polyamorous. That's what
why
Sam
lose
is.
the adoration of many for the disdain of one?
Hey, that's a great
Jesus.
quote, by
I
the way.
like that.
That's a great quote. That's a red person right there.
I
Can
see.
you
I
repeat
enjoy
it? I
my
love it.
alone time. I enjoy my alone time, my learning time, my downtime. So it's hard for me to be in a relationship because I just don't like that being infringed on.
Hey
So a
Sam,
year.
Sam, has that? Oh, let me ask you a question though. So I heard, I'm picking up what you're putting down. My question is, you said you got into porn around 30. Was that your sentiment on relationships prior to you getting into porn, or you think porn has had an impact on how you view relationships?
When
Good
I got
question.
before I thought a year before I got into the industry, long and hard, how it affected my life and my relationships.
Uh huh.
And but you have to understand, I've been in the adult industry in one form or another for 32 years because I was a stripper before that.
Got you. Got you.
Mm.
And the
Taking
thing is,
everybody dollars.
I've never really been able to find a man that I could truly depend upon and be what I need in a man.
Right.
But money is something I could always depend upon
Consistent, reliable.
and provide myself with the life that I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious what it is that you couldn't
That
get
won
from
out.
a man.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
curious,
curious
too.
what is it that you couldn't find in a man with any
Most
consistency.
men are just not dependable in the long term.
Man, I can't, when I hear women say this, it makes me wonder.
Most men aren't.
And
Though.
I see a lot of I see
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of my
true.
friendships. I have friends that are not in the industry, and I see in their relationships and how they try to hold their relationships together.
Right.
Until those women get to about 50, and this is normal for women in their 50s to divorce the guy
Yeah.
Right.
because they're just tired of doing all the laundry, all the housework, all the taking the care of the kids, and working a full-time job.
Yeah, if you work a full-time job, that's tough.
And doing all that.
If you ain't though, that's what you're gonna do all day.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
I agree with that.
So,
I think you know when you know
I mean, the
yourself, it's
happiest
hard to
group of
understand
women are women
outside
over
that.
50 who are single and no kids. That's the happiest group of women. So actually, the old
They
cat
lying
ladies
to you, though.
are the
I'm not sure
happiest.
happiest is what a term I'd use. I think that they will.
They don't got no stress.
They
That's
will,
all they got.
They're stress free. They will show happiness, but there are many a night, and I say fucking many, where they wish they had someone to hold. And while they can get a nigga to come through, how sincere is it? Right? I mean, of course a man will fuck you, but it's not gonna mean anything to him. But if you're at a point in your life where that no longer matters to you, and just any touch will do for tonight, well then hell, you winning. But I don't know that there's a lot
See,
of
I'm
women.
always happier and more productive single.
And some people are.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people are. I think there's many that aren't, but I think to Sam's point, I think there are many people that are. So you just got to know yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Be honest with
Relationships and
yourself.
marriage are not for anyone. So for me to go into something long term or a marriage, it's not going to be well for either one of us. So that's not good.
Right.
I mean, you have to know yourself. Some people are happily married and love being married, and
Yeah.
some people aren't. And
I
then, I
agree.
mean, it takes all types in this world, but you have to know yourself. And at 52, I hope I know myself.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still feel like you ain't met the right dude yet. That's all it is. Someone gonna switch that up for you.
And that's such a man
I have
thing
a
to
whole
say.
list
No,
of guys.
It is.
it's
But
not
they
even a
are
man
like-
thing to say, man, because everyone has
A
their
woman would
match.
never say that.
But everyone has their match. You
A
know
woman would
that.
go, you just haven't met the right man yet. I don't think she's. I think more men. Would
A
say that
woman
than
wouldn't say that to her girlfriend.
Listen, I've kissed a lot of
I think so.
frogs, so I'm good. It's not like I haven't.
She said it again, shit.
Man,
That's funny.
you
Yeah,
already
they're
know
like
that. Would you say, and I want the fellas to answer this first, would you say that porn gives men an unrealistic view of sex?
I think if the man is immature, then yes. If the man is experienced, then no. You take it for what it is. Like I watch porn. I don't watch it all the time. I don't watch it every day, but I would watch it, I guess, semi-regularly, right? To some extent. And I understand that these are actresses who are being paid to portray a scene or something to me. And as long as it's believable, I'm okay with knowing that. You know what I mean? But I don't expect that from like the bitch bagging my groceries at Publix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
She not that type of hoe.
no, she can be.
I
Go
think it can be unreasonable. Like, for example, like if you're looking at a particular type of porn and it's something like outrageous, I don't even know. But then you come back to your lady and you expect that replicated in some way, shape, or form. Man, your chick might not be down with that, and it might be fine that she's not down with that. I mean, it just is
It has to be fine.
It
Yeah,
has to be.
it's a freaky.
No means no.
There might be a freaky little,
Sometimes.
thing that you have for it, but it doesn't mean that it has to, you know, play out in the bedroom in your own personal life. I mean, so I think that could be off-putting in a relationship. So I could see why it could be unrealistic expectations.
I think Des put it best. On the flip side, there are things that you see in porn that you probably shouldn't try at home. But the thing with me is what porn has done for me at a mature age is make me want to test limits, right? So if I
Educational. Yeah, it can be
see
educational.
yeah, because in my mind, a woman lets you do, and this is probably fucked up to think this way, so maybe I got to rethink this, but if a woman is letting them do this in the movie, to some extent she likes it. And I don't know what it is, but sometimes you can see when a hoe really enjoying it. Like she at work getting paid, but she love her job. You know what I'm saying? And when you love your job, you do it well. So to me, it makes me wonder, if she likes it, yeah, she getting paid, but maybe Susie at Publix bagging groceries, maybe she like to get choked the fuck out too. And guess what? She does.
I mean,
and remember how rare choking was? I mean, if you can look back when we started having sex, you weren't choking. You weren't talking about that. That was some shit maybe you thought about, but you never did it. Now that shit's normalized.
It's its own genre.
Yeah, and now I don't know many women that don't like want their man to choke them. In fact, I know women who are mad that their man won't choke them, and the fact that he lacks that aggression to even do so.
Can we just, for those who are uninitiated to choking, we not doing the choking like you think, like an aggressive choke.
Not a two-hand choke.
Right. So like it's a lot of people. Right, you do your Googles. Go ahead and Google choking, and go to xnxx.com.
Know your strength
and Google choking.
You know, and you take it to the limits. You know, because you don't know what she likes until you go there. You know?
Here's the thing. I think the way we need to look at it is, it's educational in some way, shape, or form for a young man coming up. What other platforms do we have to understand how to interact with someone sexually? Now we have master classes and shit like that from a sexual standpoint, but that shit wasn't always there. So I mean, porn has kind of been people's fundamental education in some way, shape, or form.
When you say education, go ahead, Sam. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Ready for my take on it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd love to hear.
Okay. Some people are just delusional.
Agreed.
And have unrealistic expectations on both sides, because women read all those romance books, and so they have unrealistic expectations.
Right.
He made love to me all night long, nigga, in there for 2 minutes.
And then you have men who watch porn and have unrealistic expectations. But then again, society puts unrealistic expectations on all of us in some way or another anyway.
Agreed.
So if you know, I don't like to be choked at. You do that, I'm gonna twist your balls and make them rip them off. So
and some men might like that.
What, twist
that's
balls?
true too.
Oh yeah, they pay for that. They pay for that.
We love that.
So
shit.
I mean, to me, it comes down to communication.
Yeah.
When you're talking to this person, you're like, I like this, this, and this, and give it to me good.
Yeah.
Then it comes down to
Like a fax
communication.
report. You got to get that info up front.
And then
first
there's
date.
some people who have just unrealistic expectations no matter what.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And the bubble gets busted hard. That's just part of life lessons.
It's a great saying.
So in no way, fellas, you would say that porn makes you hold women to a higher standard as far as what they do sexually. You know, I'm not saying crazy over the top.
There's some people who are just freakier than what goes on in porn. So you just never know until you're like talking to that person and get to know them. That librarian is probably more freakier in bed than I will ever be, because I'm like, give it to me, missionary. You got 20 minutes. Let's go. And we're done.
Right.
I got things to
I
do.
can live with that.
Yeah. No, I think she's absolutely right. I mean, like, I think that I've had relationships with girls that did stuff where I was like, man, I would have never thought she'd be into this, right?
Yeah.
And she doesn't do porn, right? And,
Yeah.
and to Sam's credit, there are things that she's like, don't choke me, don't do this. That's not what I like. But the girl at Publix like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to your point, I think it's just communication. You got to know who you're dealing with, right? If you have a very conservative partner and a female, your girl or whatever, you can't go there asking her to do no wild shit, right? And if you got a girl who's open to a bunch of things, be open.
Shit.
What'd you say?
The more the conservative the person is, probably the more wild they want to be.
Yeah.
They
And
have
then there's
a lot
people.
of
But yeah, and then I think there's people who aren't conservative. I think there's people who are conservative. I think there's people that don't want to do no wild shit. They want to get put on their back or bent over, fucked, and they're done. And listen, for every extreme, there's the other side of the line, right? So for everybody like choking, spitting, busting nuts and eyes and all that shit, there's a person that's like, I don't want any bodily fluids on me. I don't want you to choke me. Don't spank me too hard. And then everything in fucking between.
How do you feel about bodily
But I also
fluids?
think in your 20s are about at that exploitation. I mean,
I
what
agree.
are you? I mean, that's what your 20s are for.
Yeah.
I agree.
By now, you should know what you like.
Yeah.
I agree with
I
that.
mean,
We all do.
I think that's like people always like, oh, people in their 20s should be doing this and do that. No, you should be out partying, have a good time, fucking, and exploring.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's what we did, didn't we, guys?
Yeah.
Well, some of us.
I mean, that way you have to listen when you're old and you can't do it anymore because fuck that hip don't want to work. You got good stories.
Yeah, I'm fucking till I fall apart.
That's funny.
You got good stories.
That's good shit.
Yeah, good memories.
Fellas, any genre of porn that you find just too nasty that you just can't handle?
Shit
Oh,
porn.
that's about 70% of it.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, shit and piss. I don't like shit and piss.
Yeah.
I don't mind the piss.
I don't mind the piss sometimes.
Like
we not talking soft piss like you in the shower and you got.
you
some-
mean the one? You mean the one that fill up the mouth and it drips all down their chest?
Or they pee in a cup and then the girl drinks
I
it.
can't handle
I
that.
have
I don't want
another-
to see that either.
I'm sorry, yes,
Yeah,
I have
Ash-
to end this. I have a prior engagement after this.
Oh,
so
that's fine.
No,
I'm
we
gonna have to sign
appreciate you.
off.
Yeah,
No, thank you. I love this. I would love to do it again.
absolutely.
would
We
love to
appreciate
do
your time,
it.
Samantha. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Hey,
Yeah.
Before you go, you want to sign off on some of the socials so that people know how to find you?
I'm on Twitter under Sam38G. Instagram is a misspelling. There's no N in Samantha38G. Typo on my part. Just didn't care to fix it. I'm Samantha38GG on YouTube.
All right.
Awesome. Enjoy your night, Samantha. And thank you so much.
Y'all have a wonderful evening. Mwah,
too.
thank
You
you.
too.
Bye.
Bye. Hey man, that was
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, we can do that.
That was amazing. Amazing. I thought Samantha had some very good perspective on the industry and kind of what goes on and what her thoughts are. But I think it's important to remember too, those are just Samantha's thoughts, right? She told us she don't like being choked. We could have Romy here. She's like, I love that shit.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think it's important to understand. And I think if we can get anything from this episode is that, one size don't fit all. Right. Like there are things that Samantha's like, and listen, there were some things that she said that I thought were pretty eye-opening, like waiting 6-7 dates before she has sex with somebody. Yeah. Listen,
no one expected
I'm with the nigga she was with that got mad.
Yeah.
Like by date 2 or 3, I ain't felt them titties and fuck yet.
Yeah, no
what the
one
fuck
expected
like,
that.
bitch, I'm not gonna really marry you. So what are we doing here? What are we waiting for?
I'd leave and then try to get signed to work with her before I wait 6 dates. I'd be like, bitch, can I get on a scene then? Like, I'm not waiting.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Well, I think one of the things that I enjoyed more specifically is just kind of understanding the pros and the cons of porn in your relationship and some of the unrealistic expectations, which could be a con for sure. But I think that there are some pros to it. I think that it allows you to be vulnerable and it allows you to build trust and it allows you to be open from a sexuality standpoint. And I think when you can be that, man, I think your relationship truly can blossom if everyone's on the same page. But to her point, man, if you're not on the same page, it just creates a number of issues, man. But you know what? Too much of anything ain't good for you anyway. So
That's true. Even porn.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah. Get up from the PCs, guys. Talk to girls in real life. Touch them. Give them hugs and fives and all types of human interaction.
Stupid.
It works.
you can find Brunch with the Boys on Instagram at Brunch with the Boys. You can Brunch with Boys. You can find us on Facebook the same. We're on Twitter at boys_brunch. We're also on TikTok.
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 You turned white real quick, didn't you?
I know. TikTok. We're also on TikTok.
Short A using mother.
Yeah, and Gent
At
puts out
Brunch
some
with
good
the
content,
Boys,
y'all.
man.
Check out his videos. He wilding out here.
Hey man, he funny.
And he out here fucking pussy after it just takes a shit. So
Who did that?
You did.
Jesus.
You ain't see the last TikTok?
Oh
you put up?
yeah.
How you gonna let her shit like that and you still gonna take the pussy?
Listen,
Nah, you got to
you've never actually had a girl just fart in your face after when you were giving her head and
Man,
continue
wrap this
through
shit
it.
up.
Man,
Wrap
rap,
this up.
because you already know about that shit. I'm no. Fuck out of here. You fucking fart, you going home, ho. No dick for you.
Yeah, coffee and brunch. We can have our conversations over coffee and brunch. Ha.